In this video, I'm going to take you through some of the most important concepts when it comes to lead generation for your business, primarily the marketing agency. So, it was always one of the most frustrating things for me because I knew that to actually scale the business really quickly, I needed to have an email list, right? As you've often probably heard that, build your list, build your list, build your list. Now, the most frustrating and honestly, it really, really frustrated me. Nobody ever told you how to build your list properly. They might tell you, okay, well, you need to have a lead magnet, you need to have, free programs, or you've got to have different things for leads to opt into, or rank a blog, or whatever that may be. But that takes such a long time. And there's such a barrier to entry that if I need new business right now, that's not really going to work for me. Right. And that's why so many people become drawn to other formats of lead generation. Because, yes, in theory, and to be honest, in reality, SEO works really, really well, especially when you start to rank for some pretty competitive keywords and pretty accurate keywords. But it can take 6 months minimum for something pretty competitive to actually kick in. And I don't know about you, but I could never wait that long. That's not something that I was really accustomed to. That's not something I wanted to do either. I really wanted to make sure that I could bring in clients pretty quickly and not have the same issues. So really building lead magnets, like everybody says, build like a really good newsletter, build like a template stack, or build something that can attract them. Sure, that's the thing that you sell, but how do you actually get the traffic to the website? And the answer is always SEO. The answer is always social content, organic posting, but it just takes so long that I never wanted to do it. And it is an area that I've lacked on, to be honest with you. I'm trying to improve that as we progress. But I want to give you an insight and show you the behind the scenes and how we actually do this, how we built our list really, really quickly, and why once you build that email list, things change for you. You don't really struggle to bring in new business anymore. It becomes a lot easier to do so because you have that list, that warm list of people you can just send a campaign out to, and you will get buyers, you will get clients coming through the door. And this spreadsheet is an integral part of how we actually do this. I'm going to take you through this. So this is what we call the ladder funnel. And this is what we use to build that email list really quickly. This is how we leverage paid advertising without having to lump up the ad spend. So what you're going to see here is how this whole funnel system works. And on the left-hand side over here, what you're going to see is a few different products that we'll have. They could be templates. They could be our lead magnets. They could be programs. They could be a done-for-you service. Anything of this sort, we can have that in here. It could even be software. So this is how we're doing it. So we're taking them through a funnel process. The first page is, of course, the intro offer. Over here, that's your first page. That's the first page of the funnel. We always have an order bump in here as well, usually about $27. We're going to have upsell number one priced in at $97, and we're going to have downsell number one priced in at $67. Finally, we're going to have the service upgrade. That could be a high ticket anything, right? It could be $2,000 per month, monthly recurring revenue from agency services. It could be lifetime access to something. It could be, a program of sorts. It could be coaching. It could be anything like that. Funnel builds, anything of this sort. That's the service upgrades, and that's on the back end. So what I'm going to show you is how to make that front end at least break even, because if we can make that break even, this ad spend column doesn't matter. Every single day we're going to break even. We're going to reset to zero. We don't have to wait until we're closing sales calls on the back end to break even. Every single day this funnel runs, it breaks even. And that's why we use it, because we don't have to stress about the ad spend. So this is how it works. Now, these conversion rates are pretty accurate. Now, we spent hundreds upon hundreds of thousands of dollars on funnels like this. And to be honest with you, this specific funnel. So it's pretty well proven, even with our clients who've spent hundreds of thousands. Not talking over years here. I'm talking over the course of, a couple hundred thousand over 4 or 5 months. That's the power of these funnels, because you can really bring clients in quickly. Now, that being said, these conversion rates are pretty well tested. They're pretty well proven. They're quite accurate, really, and they're very good benchmarks that should be achievable. So a 15% conversion rate on the initial product is pretty achievable. An order bump conversion rate of 30%. Honestly, I've experienced 40, 50%, even edging towards the 50% mark before, but 30% plays it safe. It's a nice number. You're still going to see how this works. So if we beat that, even better. Then we've got upsell number 1, conversion rate. Again, I've seen that closer to 20%. I've even seen it 40% sometimes. But 15%, safe number. We'll show you that it works. Downsell conversion rate 10%. This number here, this isn't really going to make a big, adds a couple of extra dollars onto it. It doesn't really make a big difference. If you can't come up with a downsell, it's not going to be catastrophic for you. It's still going to work, but the downsell can often just bring in that little bit of extra revenue. The reason for that is because by this point in the funnel, the buyer has come through multiple different steps and they become quite fatigued. So then we've got the service upgrade with 2% conversion rate there, which again is pretty on an ongoing basis. So as your list builds, that becomes 2% on a rolling basis. So as you can imagine, that snowballs up and up and up as your list grows. A very, very good example of this that I've come across recently is Rudy Mauer, however you pronounce his surname. Apologies if I've absolutely butchered that surname, but he does it really, really well. So obviously, you probably come across him before. You see his ads everywhere. The guy that always wears red. The way he does it is he sells a $97 done-for-you setup process for advertising for business owners, right? And the way that works is ideally that probably breaks even, or probably comes close to breaking even for $97 on the front end. So he's obviously going for that 97 mark. The reason he's probably doing that, again, I'm speculating, just analyzing how he did this from what I know based on my knowledge. So I could be off on this, but this is what I chalk it up to. Based on what I've seen, I've kind of went through his funnel, I've seen how it works, and it relates quite closely to this process. That was a really, really good example that I saw. So probably the $97 product is probably breaking even or getting pretty close to that. And it really financially qualifies people as someone who's willing to invest. So if he brings those people in at a break even or close to break even, and he then upsells the managed service on an ongoing basis to a qualified audience that have already received immense value from him. Again, immense value being the real kicking factor here. We don't want to sell any old nonsense here. We want to sell something of really high quality, something that's going to blow their mind. So we want to make sure this is packed with value, over deliver as much as we possibly can, because it's going to come back around and convert into future business for us. So really good examples. I'll have a look for his ads. That's basically what he's doing. Again, that's based on my analysis, and that's what I see, having worked through the funnel itself and having run these processes myself too. So just to take a look at this, I'm going to give you an example of ad spend over the course of a month of $1,000. Now, in context, I appreciate this might seem like $1,000 is a lot of money right now, but in the grand scheme of things, when it comes to monthly ad spend, $1,000 is actually really, really low. But I put it at this number to show you on a small scale how this works and why you shouldn't be afraid of the paid ads process when you're running like this. It's the fastest way to actually bring in new clients. So from $1,000 spent over the course of the month, our conversion rates kick in. We've got a clicks of about 400 different clicks coming in there. From 400, we get 60 intro offers sold. So 60 of the $7 product here, which is 15%. Now, this cost, the number of clicks comes from a cost per click down here of $2.50. Pretty achievable, especially when you're running marketing services to a broad audience like life insurance or something like that, pretty broad. That's a pretty achievable cost per click. So that's how we get to the 400 clicks mark. From those 460 at 15% over here, conversion rate, converting to the $7 products, which brings in $420 on the front end. So from those 60 intro offers sold, remember, we're going to get 30% of them that are going to take the order bump on that first page. That equates to 18 of the order bumps. So 18 upgrades initially coming straight from that funnel. That equates to $486 in additional revenue. So the initial revenue from our intro product plus our order bump, which of course an order bump is always on the order page. If you think about the yellow boxes that you see where you can tick to take the upgrades, that's what we're talking about here. That's an order bump. It's all on that one page. We calculate that as the first purchase. So that's the initial revenue. So from the first purchase and the order bump, we are collecting $906 and we have spent $1,000. So we're at a slight loss for that. But we haven't really worked through the funnel yet or any of the upsells. Now, from the 60 order intro products sold, we're then going to get 9 of the upgrades coming in. Now, that works out from a conversion rate of 15%. So 15% of that 60, we're going to get 9 upgrades. And that brings in $873 in additional revenue, not including the first, the initial revenue, in additional revenue. Then, of course, we work through to the downsell. So anyone who didn't take that upsell, that said no thank you to the upsell, comes into the downsell, of which we sell 5 at a 10% conversion rate. And that then equates to an additional $341.70. Now, from the 60 intro offers sold, we're going to convert on the service backend at 2%, right? So 2% of those people are going to take our service upgrades at the 2K. That brings in at 1.2 people here. Obviously, it's a game of averages that we're playing, so that's going to be one person, so $2,000. But that's an additional $2,400 in revenue / pure profit because we've already broken even on that ad spend. So from that initial $1,000 invested in the paid ads process, because we're sending them through a funnel like this, and because we're then giving the back end upgrades to the higher ticket product, we bring in $4,521 in revenue from that one single funnel. Our campaign overhead is $1,000. So we've profited $3,521, brought in a high ticket client as well. That was usually the 2K would be about the 2,000 monthly recurring revenue mark for an agency of sorts. If you're going higher ticket, go for the 5 to 6 to even 8K mark. And if you're going lifetime purchase, your conversion rate's got this 2%, it's probably going to double to 4%. If you say instead of $2,000, you sell it for $1,000, your conversion rate is going to bump up quite significantly. And to be honest, you're probably going to come pretty close to these numbers anyway. So it moves as you decrease the price, the conversion rate is going to bump up, and vice versa. That's how we work this. So from that total campaign, $4,521 in revenue, $1,000 in expense, $3,521 in profit. Wonderful, right? For acquiring our customers, that's what we've done there. We haven't ran our business, we haven't served as a customer or tried to work with clients. This is our acquisition process. We are actually profiting from the lead generation process, which is pretty unusual, right? And when we run funnels like this, that's why I tell you that this number here, the ad spend, doesn't really matter. We can keep cranking those numbers because it breaks even every single day. And that's how it works. We spend $100 tomorrow, we get $100 back tomorrow. And then, of course, this service upgrade starts to kick in. Now, the campaign revenue without the service upgrade. So if no one took this, let's say no one took this at all, right? And you think, well, no one's taking my upgrade. Yeah, I'm getting really nervous. What should I do? Well, remember, this campaign breaks even. So without the service upgrades, just in the lower ticket stuff up here, we've generated $2,121. That's $1,121 in profit just from building our email list. So with this purple number here, these purple cells over here, we're not even upgrading people. We're just using the funnel to build our email list and profiting as we build that email list, all to then be upsold on the back end with our managed service. Now, in order to upsell those people, we have a back end email sequence. We have retargeting campaigns at times. They're super low cost. It's definitely worth the trouble of doing so. And of course, we can have an appointment setter in place to actually work those leads as well. So this is how we build our email list, right? We're not ranking for keywords. We're not really on social media that much or bringing in people through appointment setters or doing the Facebook organic stuff. That's not really how we do it. We play the ads game. We always have. This is our skill set. This is our field of expertise. This is what we do. And if you want to move really quickly, this is really what I recommend that you do. You build these services, these products in a funnel of sorts, just like this one. You send the traffic through knowing that you're going to be breaking even every single day, which means you can crank this number up. So let's say we crank that to 5,000 over the course of the month. What actually happens? Well, if you take a look at this, we've then, with the conversion rates, we've then signed 6 new clients from that 5K. We've generated 22,000. We have profited 17,000, having acquired 6 new clients on a monthly recurring basis. That's the beauty of what we're doing. As you crank up, you may start at $1,000 for the month, but you're going to quickly realize this breaks even and that you really need to crank the numbers to start moving really, really quickly. And this is going to take you out of the struggle, that hamster wheel of lead generation, because this works around the clock, right? You're not investing time into this. You set this system up, you manage the system, but it's bringing in clients constantly. It's building your list, building that email list. And over the course of 4 or 5 months, when you get a couple of thousand in your email list, you send out a campaign for a new bonus offer that you've got going on, maybe an incentive period, or maybe a new service you're offering, and boom, you get people coming in, new clients that are coming in for your new offer, and you just don't struggle for new business anymore. This is what we do. This is how we do it. And this is what I recommend that you do. I'm going to be in the next coming videos, I'm going to be diving in a bit more as to what this all looks like. But I wanted to give you the why, the reason why we're doing this before we actually dive in. So if you want more content like this, watch the rest of my videos. There should be a couple of popping up around the screen right now. Have a look at my channel. I've got more videos on the SAAS agency, on the lead generation methods that will dive in deep on how you actually do this. And that's what I'm going to be covering in the next couple of videos as well. I'm going to take you through the process, show you how this works, show you in action, and really help you build that list for yourself. So if you enjoyed the video, check out the rest of the videos on the channel and subscribe to the channel. It really, really helps me produce more content, gives me the motivation to produce more content for you, that you like it. And if you have any recommendations as to what you'd like me to cover, leave it in the comments. I do reply to every comment. I read every comment, and I'll really develop my content based on that going forward. So thanks for watching. If you made it this far in the video, subscribe if you can. It really is a massive help in supporting the channel.